Good afternoon. This is I'm Ronnie, and this is Friday the 13th, and we're here to talk about what recovery means. As I always say, recovery in my life at this point right now, due to addiction and everything, has brought me to this program, and I'm recovering. I'm changing aspects about my life.
Yes, sir.
That's what recovery means to me. And without any further ado, I introduce my speaker for today. Your name is.
Anthony. Anthony N. I'm a grateful member of Narcotics Anonymous, man. Narcotics Anonymous got what it takes, and I'm going to hold on to it. He reintroduced me to a relationship with the God of my understanding, whom I choose to call Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I like saying that publicly because I'll never deny him, so he never denies me. But other than that, man, I'm a older gentleman. By the grace of God, I look at my age, but I'm coming up on another milestone in my life, and I got another chance. I'm not going to hold you long, man. I was born and raised in a rough city, Washington, D.C. Everything that came with the stereotype of being in Washington, D.C., I was a part of it. I started out, came from a decent home. Just my mother, but she took care of us. I'm the oldest of three. And when I came off the porch, man, I started trying to sell drugs and use drugs. I became my biggest customer. Wasn't until years later that I realized a monkey can't sell bananas. So I became my best customer, man, and I ended up going to prison. Um, Probably was by design, and I fell into the trap. And while in prison, I learned really how to be a man. I came home and I had some years clean. How many years is not important because I made the decision to use again, and now I made the decision to never use again. I'm not using no more. By the help of this program and meeting people like Ronnie, I call him my little big brother because he's huge, right? My little big brother, man, and we just support each other. We speak into each other's spirit. A lot of times we agree to disagree because we're only individual men. We always want the best for each other, man. And my life is starting totally over. When I hit my bottom, I lost totally everything, and now I have more than I'm even can receive right now. I don't have room for what I have, for what people have blessed me with. I really believe that if I stay on this path, as I stay on this path, God will give me anything, everything I need, and some of what I want. All He wants me to do is to pass the message that it's Him and it's not me.
Amen.
So I'm trying to do that with how I conduct myself, how I carry myself. It's not a facade. This is really how I am. I've been broken down totally, so I ain't got no choice but to look up and be humble. But I know, look to the hills from whence coming my help. I know He's there, and He's blessed me with people like Ronnie and just guys I've never known, none of my life, who just came into my life and just loved me unconditionally. Because I had very little to give back, and they just love me, man. And I'm in a great place. Finally got a chance to to do the video. You know what I'm saying? I feel honored, man. That's a real short version. Again, my name is Anthony. If anybody here wants to know more, my Facebook page is Tony Wardell Newlon, Wardell Newlon, Newlon. Tony Wardell Newlon. You send a request, I'll be glad to answer it. We can vibe some more. Other than that, man, I need to tell you, God is the reason. God is the reason for everything good that's happening in my life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
My man.
And,
Thank you, brother.
To pick up where he left off and give you a little bit more information on Tony. You spoke about being in prison. That's something that we have in common also. I don't have as many years as you did in prison, but the experiences alone, it was very triggering to me.
Yeah, really traumatic.
During those such times in our life when we were not actively using, but we picked up where we left off at.
Yep.
Coming out of prison, and that's the most amazing thing because the brain can actually stop doing something altogether when it has no access to it.
Yeah.
And as I sit here today now, I have access, but I don't have access. It's because of the fact that I choose not to put myself in a situations to actually be around those people that of a mind state to actually continue to use.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot. In our classes, we one of the main people that actually talk in our classes a lot.
We the ones. Yeah, we the ones. This is all right though.
So the way I look at it now, God do put people on your path for a particular reason.
Absolutely.
And I want you to share your experiences about how your upbringing was, how, the situation, how you have told the age difference between you with your mom.
Oh
man.
yeah, man, that's
You know.
important. That's important because it worked on my self-esteem and self-worth for a long time. My mother had birth me at a very young age. She was in her early teens when she gave birth. The numbers is not important. I was the only child, and it was due to statutory rape. And my mother, I'm the oldest of three. My sister is 9 years younger than me, and my brother is 13 years younger, and they have the same father. The one man that my mother married, and he passed, and I was locked up when he passed, but he raised me. He raised me like his own son, even before my sister and brother were born. So I came up, man, with a lot of love. I came up athletic. But I remember, because my mother didn't really understand how, I remember wanting more affection than she was able to give. When I look back on it now that I've gotten a little older, a little more seasoned, I realized that my mother was a child raising me as a child, right? She was very, very young, and she did the best she could. I still honor her. By the grace of God, she's still living today, and I still honor her when I can. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call her when I get off this video, just to let her know I love her. You know what I mean? Because Ronnie talks about, he talks about his circumstances, how his mother's no longer here, and how young he was, and my heart goes out to him. So I better do the next right thing and call her while I can. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that I keep in touch with myself, trying to be the best version of myself every day. I got enough records in my past, man. I'm not going to let it dictate my future no more. You know what I mean? I'm just, man. The way I came up in D.C., I came up fighting a lot. I was teased a lot. They used to call me Monkey Man and Gorilla Baby because I had beady hair. I had beady hair, long arms, and big lips. This was in the course in the 60s and early 70s. So I was teased a lot. So I started boxing. I used to hang out at Rec Center a lot. Of course, I'm really short now. I'm 5'4". So back then I was really small. And I started boxing at the age of 7. And I went up to 14 until my mother really found out what I was doing. I went to a couple of Golden Glove tournaments. One time I was like 10 years old. I got 3rd place in my division. We go to Cincinnati. It was called Cincinnati State Fair back then. And I stopped. I got really interested in basketball, started playing ball in high school, junior high school, church league. So I never was introduced to the penal system. I was never introduced to prison or jail. It wasn't until I became an addict that I started doing things to break the law. Mama didn't bring me up that way. And when I went in with a 5 to 7 year sentence, and I ended up doing 19 years because I had to protect myself. And I had a situation I had to do, either hit that person or myself. And I did what I felt like I needed to do. And excuse me, I really apologize for this. I hope he edits it out because I didn't expect this call.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, I expect this call.
So this is what my main topic is. About a recovery. Tell the people now about how important this addiction thing is, man. How rampant. It's running,
Yeah.
What would you share? What would you share to somebody else right now who's still sick and suffering? How we always speak on them, you know what I mean?
I tell you, before I get into that, Ronnie, this segues into what you was just asking because that's a very good question. Ronnie and I both are in the field. We both in the field, not just to service and helping somebody, but just sharing the message, man, that we can be clean and that we can stay clean. And both of us know, because we both tried it, that the more I share the message, the more insurance I put that I won't use that day. And that's I can't think of no better equation, no better situation. Because this disease, man, it does not discriminate. They used to say a long time ago, you can come from Park Avenue or you can come from a park bench. You can be a scholar or you can be a derelict in the street. You can be the smartest person and you can be the strongest person. This disease does not discriminate. Some people think it has to do with willpower. What we're learning is it has to do with surrendering. Surrendering to the fact that I could never use safety. Why? Because there's a disease that's centered in my thinking that tells me I can use one, which is a compulsion. And then once I start using that one, I can't stop because I open up now an obsession. I have to have more. We learned all this stuff in class because Ronnie and I are the type, we both were thirsty and hungry for our recovery. It's not my place to say who is not or who is who's not, but I know we are. Right, yeah. And we don't hang out a lot because I'm almost 20 years older than he is. Yeah. But that's my dude, right? I don't want to start talking about it too much because I'm sensitive. I'll start to cry, right? But this is my heart. This is my heart from day one, right? Because he remember when I came in here, I'd never been in treatment before because I had some years clean. As a matter of fact, I had 20